Italian scones, not if there's any other kind. This is a recipe that we wrote down years ago. We've been using for a very long time. This is actually a recipe that I can't remember where I got it. Anyway, we're going to start with 2 cups of flour. We have a 1/4 cup of sugar, a teaspoon of baking powder, and a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. That's all our dry ingredients, and we have 2/3 of a cup of milk and a stick of butter. We'll start by adding the flour, salt, and all that all at once. Take a whisk. Let's blend this together a little bit. Making scones is a lot like making biscuits. Want this butter to be soft, so just leave it out for a little while before you start. Pull it out an hour or so ahead of time. We're just going to add that butter in there all at once. Okay. Now I want to bring this flour over here. I'm going to start cutting into this butter. Just do it by hand. Your best tool in the kitchen is your hand. That and a good blender. KitchenAid, which I have one of those as well. My hand I use more than anything. I don't want to break out a blender and KitchenAid for just one little batch of scones. Alright, once I get that starting to get together, I'm going to mix it up. Kind of roll it together. I want this to be not kind of like a fine cornmeal, I guess. Not quite a coarse cornmeal. You'll see how it looks. It's kind of like a cornmeal. Now when I add this milk to this, I don't want to mix this around a whole lot. I'm going to mix it more than I would. You mix it and get away with more than you can with biscuits. But again, I don't want to over mix it. So I'm going to kind of make a well here. I'm just going to pour the milk in. Again, do it all at once. Prep on this is simple. Like once you have your ingredients out, and this is just really simple. I'm just going to kind of move it together. Okay, it's going to be really sticky. Expect it to stick to your fingers real good like that. It's almost like mittens. But yeah, pull it all off. Do scrub your hands real well, of course, before you begin to make these. Okay, we're going to magically, the easiest way to get this off, to magically get it off, is just go like this. Just like, see? Instantly clean hands. Excellent. Alright, now I'm going to take a little bit of additional flour just to kind of move this out of the bowl. I want to turn it out onto a floured surface and then flour your hand really good, and that way you can work this stuff out of the bowl. Keep your hand floured so it don't stick again, or you'll be back to having to do magic. Alright, get rid of this mixing bowl for now. Alright, this is a real sticky dough, so we're going to just put a little bit of flour on top of it and work it together. You just want to get it to kind of come together so it's not breaking apart. Okay, I think that should be all of this. I need some more of that, I can come back to it. Alright, I'm just going to turn this into a round, almost like a pie or a little cake. Alright, I want to make it even. And again, it's easier done by hand. Take a rolling pin. If you want to use a pin, just set the depth somewhere and just lay it on there. And when you roll your pin, just put your knuckles down so you hold your pin flat. Just roll it back and forth like that, and that'll give you a nice even surface. Okay, now we're going to take a knife. That's the reason why we can't use a big knife, I guess. Now I want to cut this much like you cut a pizza or a cake. Make sure I messed up on that. Make sure we flour the knife. Let me just get some more flour because I've done this a couple times. You want to flour the knife after every cut, so just be careful, don't run it up your hand. Okay, cut that. Right, flour it up again. Cut this. Okay, a little more flour. And bingo. Okay. Now I just want to pull these apart so they don't stick back together, because they will stick back together for sure. Alright. Now we got our scones all pulled apart. Now we're just going to get them ready to go on a baking sheet. Okay. We're going to be using an air pan for this. Kind of like a pizza pan. You don't have to use an air pan. You can just use a flat pan. I'm doing a little experiment actually with the air pan because I haven't used it before for scones. But I like a little crispy bottom on the scone, and I'm hoping this will provide that. There we go. Now we have a 400-degree oven, correct? Let me see here. These are going to puff out a little bit. Let me just move these out. Just a little more. There we go. That looks better. 400-degree oven. There we go. And we'll give those, I'll say I don't know what the exact time is. I figure they'll stay in for somewhere around 20-25 minutes maybe. Scones look like they're done, so we're going to give them, that was, say 15 to 20 minutes, somewhere in that area. Just keep an eye on them. But let's set the timer for 15 minutes and go from there. Pulling these back a little bit. Alright, and let's go right there. Shut this oven down. Don't need that running no more. Okay, and there's the scones. Now you can top these with butter and eat them like they are. They're great with coffee. Excellent with coffee. They're great with a glass of milk. You can put fruit inside them. You can put raisins, chocolate chips, whatever kind of scones you really want to make. You can make a savory scone, make the sugar and put in spices, however you want to do it. These scones, if you'll notice, we didn't put any eggs in these, so these don't have any eggs, but they're still fluffy and light. They got a nice little crust on them, but they're fluffy and inside, nice and soft. They're very hot, just gonna let them cool a little bit, make sure they ain't stick. We'll let these cool off for just a little bit, and then I'll open one up for you and show you what they look like inside. Okay, scones have all kind of cooled off a little bit, so we're just gonna pop one open and see how they look inside. They're nice and fluffy on the inside. See? Yeah. Oh yeah, they're delicious. Now if you're going to make these and you plan on adding liquid to them, if you're going to add fresh fruit or even like chocolate chips, kind of liquidy when they melt, I would add 1 egg to it if you're going to add some moist ingredients. But yeah, these are great with honey on them or syrup, whatever you want. Great with coffee. Anyway, Italian scones, these are eggless.